be beginning on defense. Now, Tempo was given the opportunity to choose which side they wanted to start on because TSM were the ones to pick this map. So, Tempo preferring the attack on Consulate. Makes sense. This is a fairly balanced map, all things considered, but I think there's a lot more potential to set the pace overall on the attacking side. And the bans will start out. Nomad will be the first ban by TSM. That's going to facilitate lots and lots of runouts, lots and lots of fights on the outside of the building.
That's exactly what we expect when it comes to Consulate. Everyone on every window, batten down the hatches. We're going to war outside. Thatcher going to follow that up. Not a bad ban at all. Going to limit some things, per se, especially on the garage. Those early entries that we usually see happen when he is on the board more than likely won't happen. They're going to have to get that piano control first to be able to deal with any wall denial.
My once again banned out, and Mira will be the final ban here. Interesting. So we've got Valkyrie, Echo, and Maestro unbanned. That is a very different lineup to what you might expect in this kind of a match, especially on Consulate.
Yeah, especially with the Mira ban coming in. She's an operator that sees a lot of uses on a lot of maps, and Consulate's no different, but her usability on Consulate isn't as high as it is, across the spectrum of the maps that we do have inside of our map pool. Most notably, we see her downstairs inside of the security office as well as kitchen, with both those mirrors faced out into the garage. We've seen some stuff happen upstairs before, but that was quite some time ago when people, just try to throw Mira everywhere. It doesn't work the best, but maybe we see it. Maybe we don't. We'll have to find out. TSM's going downstairs first. Obviously, no Mira since she's banned, but we will have some Malusi
Attackers
fun.
need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Now,
Bomb located by attackers.
as you can see, the Maestro is going to be a major factor here. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this, but if you're not, we're going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and lay out basically what Maestro is so powerful for on this map. He denies the plant at the front of garage, which is the common plant spot on this site. Because of the Thatcher ban, the Kaid is also going to be delaying opening up that wall for quite a long time in all likelihood. So you pair the Maestro, who has the ability to zap the feet of the attackers as they attempt to plant, with the Kaid, the gas canisters, and the Malusis. You're going to have a very difficult assault through the garage. Now, what this means for the attack is it's much better generally to attack top down. Open up above before going for any kind of execution onto the site itself. We'll see what Tempo decide to do, though. They're not committed to that path. It's just, well, likely to be easier. Is only the middle panel electrocuted, or am I crazy?
You're not crazy. I was about to say that. Yes, it is the only the middle panel, but Temple Storm doesn't have any other hard breach, so they're going to have to torch it anyways.
But why the middle? That means the attack's going to be able to easily open up the... I guess it is... I guess it doesn't matter, yeah. They're probably going to put the other Electrical on one of the drops. That'll at least make Maverick take some damage. Still, I wonder what's going on with that Kaid, regardless of the operators on attack.
We can see the hole in the floor inside piano. I think that he went for that, what you usually go for, the vertical through the floor ceiling thing with the electro claws to make it a little bit more difficult to, get a hold of or destroy. But it just ended up not hitting the other two walls, which again, not going to be that big of a deal. What's up?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, as you made note of, it really doesn't matter in this situation, just because the Maverick's gonna have to trick the whole thing, and he's done a pretty good job. He got one panel on the right. He's actually just going to make a hole on the left. So not going to try to go for the entire wall, but we'll be getting a good chunk of it. You could finish that up with soft destruction. As you can see, Dream is going to do just that. He's only going to use one, and he'll break the other bit with his gun. So there you go. Garage panel open, and it only took half the round.
Yeah, and a lot of Mav torches. He's all the way down to his last tank here, but we're more than likely not going to see him use any more of that fuel. His job's now done. Crazy's just another man with a gun holding an angle. They need to get this figured out, though, exactly where this diffuser is going to go down. With all the hard destruction done, it looks like they're going to be favoring the white van, as most teams do, but they do still have to worry about the TSM members upstairs. Most notably achieved inside of Piano with Bolo in tandem. There's a lot of roam presence still to deal with, and I don't think that Tempo has the means right now. This might be a straight up execute. They could possibly support this with the smokes of Jarvis.
I'll be honest, this is looking really bad for Tempo Storm. The main reason is because they haven't cleared out anything above, and that just means that those two roamers can continue to deny the plant at the front of white. And since the anchors are doing a pretty decent job themselves, that makes things even more difficult. Crazy downed, Mark and Dream both going to eat a lot of damage from Geo playing at the back of white van. Now, they will get crazy back up, and just a little off there for Geo, but it doesn't really matter. The damage is done, and all three of those attackers now will die quite easily on the execution. Achieved will get Dream, likely through the holes in the ceiling above. Evil Eyes, both of them still up. The nade might get one of them, but it doesn't matter. By Yellow, Merc will get Creators on the garage panel. The attack falling apart. A triple kill for Merc, and it's all on Jarvis, who was trying to hold the flank. TSM will take round number 1 quite decisively.
The vertical play just too strong there, Kicks, and they had no means to try and handle any of that at all. I mean, it took them half the time to get the wall open, and then, hey, I mean, what else can you really do there? They try and force the opposition back, and TSM stands strong. There was a lot of positives there for TSM, though. I really like what they had set up on the side of Yellow Stairs to try and support the Pipes player with the Banshee on the wall, the barbed wire, ADSs, everything inside of that area to be able to support a kind of setup like that. It was very, very strong up against Tempo's Storm. Now, going into this next setup here, do you think that Tempo needs to favor a top-down clear and not try to be so, headstrong about trying to get the execute forced onto site?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're going to a different site here, right? We're going to be ending up somewhere completely different. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we had a garage exclusive attack in that last round, and half of the attacking lineup was just sitting outside, whittling their thumbs for the first half of the round.
I thought I was crazy.
No, I mean, like, what are they doing? What is that? That was very confusing. And I guess they're watching for runouts, maybe. They're, messing around by Yellow Stairs. But no. The Maverick could have had maybe one person assist him, possibly the Zofia outside garage, and everyone else could have done something else. But that wasn't the case. Now, Tempo did have eventually put their gridlock on Piano Rappel, but it didn't matter at that point. And I don't know. I really think there was a lot of wasted time there from Tempo Storm. Now, they don't necessarily have to do a full clear next time they go to the basement, but they do need to use all of their bodies throughout the round. You can't just have people sitting around waiting on attack.
Exactly. There's a checklist to be done on every map, and obviously, especially professional players know exactly what that is. Early pick from Achieved here, and that's exactly why everyone loves Nomad so much on this map. When it's gridlock, you can't do the same things.
I actually forgot to mention this, but I think it was Achieved who said "got your kill" in the chat. That was direct smack towards Jarvis, because Jarvis is the only player on Tempo who got a kill in the first round, and he also didn't get any kills in the first map. So that was
that's so unfortunate.
That was really direct smack talk there from TSM. they kind of let loose with that one. I didn't get a chance to mention it when it happened, but yeah.
Not the best showing for Tempo right now. Jarvis is dead the next round as well, so that means that flank watch isn't going to be as potent as it once was. Those track stingers help out a lot, especially on maps like Consulate, where there's a lot of staircases that are usually utilized by those roamers to make their way around the map. She's really, really good when it comes to locking those staircases down. So, Tempo now down a member, need to figure out how they're going to handle this admin attack. It's moving decently along here, though. They've already worked themselves up into copy, as well as having most of the admin control. Don't have too much to worry about from TSM down low either.
Now, here's the cool thing. Chala is playing Mute instead of Smoke. Now, that means, yes, he has less utility to deny pushes, but as an SAS operator, his kit makes him pretty versatile in these close-range engagements anyway. And he's got a Mute Jammer on his wall, which is preventing the Selmas from detonating right now, so Chala can persist in this location. He's also got a C4 to dislodge an attacker on the balcony, should he need to, but he'll just fall back, because, well, damage done, time wasted. Now he's back inside, nice and safe, and he'll continue to waste time in the remaining minute of this attack.
Oh, and this is immensely strong as well. I love the Mute pickup, as you were saying, especially for that Nitro cell, because he'll be able to rotate all the way downstairs and use the hatches to try and prevent the default plant inside of the lobby. TSM is decently spread across the entire map right now, and with the man count, this round is really looking up for them.
I gotta say, this is looking really kind of sad for Tempo. Right now, they don't seem aware that anyone's even left Projector, and they might have, I think, yeah, they just figured out about 30 seconds after it happened, oh, hey, we can vault in Projector. Exactly that will happen. Dream now has control of Connector, but he will die to Bolo as he attempts to get control of CEO. Mark has got good line of sight, but he doesn't expect the second roamer. Geo with some great positioning, and he'll pick up an easy 3-piece. TSM take round number 2 flawlessly.
Well, I was waiting for Geo's 1, but he actually got 3. Call it a baker's dozen or whatever you want. Geo's on fire inside of that round at least. TSM is adding insult to injury at this point, and there it is. I got 1. He finally got it, folks. Geo is on the scoreboard. Him and Jarvis, you know, popping the champagne, doing what you will. But TSM, oh my goodness, these rounds are coming to them so easily sometimes. I mean, inside of that round alone, they got the initial pick onto Jarvis, but there was no real aggression to try and deal with Projector at all. They didn't even check it with any drones after Chala had already left. I mean, he was long gone by the time that they finally stepped in the door, and then they still had to worry about Bolo inside of CEO, and they didn't even have any information on him. Me thinking, hey, you know, maybe the drone economy is taking a large hindrance. Absolutely not. They still had most of their drones alive for the people that actually were alive. So just a very weird instance there. It could be possibly that the mute jammers were really, really effective. We don't really know. But that botch on taking control of Projector is definitely what led into Tempo's demise.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, middle site, you got to roam above to control the, or middle floor site, that's the main lobby. You got to roam above to control the main lobby itself because it has no soft destruction on its walls, only on its ceiling and on the drops on the floor. So that's what TSM was trying to do early, but usually that doesn't last that long because obviously the attack wants to deal with that, so they clear into it. This round, or that last round, it lasted almost the entire round. Only the last 30 seconds did Tempo really get control of Projector, which is just unacceptable. Now, TSM, really solid for them. Great job. Good, yeah, thumbs up. But a lot of that does lie at the feet of Tempo Storm as well. Now, we're going to archives here. We've got, interestingly, an Oryx being brought from Merc. So he's going to be going for a roam on the other side of the building from the actual bomb site. Now, this is common, actually. It's been made more meta as of late. The Oryx can jump up and down from CEO to basement on this side of the building. And because of that, he is a very versatile roamer and can be quite elusive. Even though you sacrifice utility bringing him, he's still powerful in this specific set of circumstances on this specific map.
We'll see how well Merc can possibly utilize him. He's forced his way on top of the toilet instead of the stall for B1, so in good position right now, and also in good company as 2 people down below him, Bolo and Achieve, the ump duo for this round, as Pulse and Castle, trying to keep things locked down inside of Garage. This is split site, so this isn't the worst thing for Tempo Storm if they do want to try and go about taking this in this means, but looks like they've headed upstairs, actually, with Crazy and Creators, as well as the, I believe, Hard Breach in tandem. Yes, actually, is that Crazy up there? I do believe it is. Yes, it is. Okay, just had to make sure there for a second. As they're handling all of admin. More breaching charges upstairs now as they're breaking up the floor. Not too bad of a start for them at all.
Actually looking pretty solid here for Tempo. They were very slow at the beginning of the round, but now suddenly they're going for a plant. They might be trying to catch TSM off guard. And they actually could accomplish that. Crazy running around in the site trying to get that plant down. The IQ shooting through the floor to keep the pulse off the heartbeat detector, but it doesn't matter because TSM collapses and all of Tempo Storm fall apart. A flawless round met with a flawless round. TSM looking completely dominant.
This is incredible. Did Merc just come up the teller's hatch?
He may have, no matter what it was. The collapse was just absolute calamity for Tempo.
That was amazingly done by them from every single angle. You thought Tempo had it initially as well, with Ace sprinting around trying to bait Pulse in underneath so the IQ could get the kill. What's up?
How many kills does Tempo have? 1? It's still just that one on Jarvis? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
They got 1 kill on Jarvis in the first round. And that's it.
Who angered the Giants? That's what I want to know. TSM is just plain. It's kind of like that, what we saw from SSG earlier. I mean, Canadian said it before the matchup. He's like, hey, we're here to knock some teeth. And TSM looking to do the exact same. They are not allowing Tempo to have any breathing room at all. As soon as they, simple misstep, even something small happens, TSM's all over it, and they wash Tempo almost every single round. It's actually very impressive.
Yeah, the really crazy. I think, honestly, that last round was probably the fastest I've ever seen a 5v5 go to a flawless round victory for one of those 2 teams. It's up there. That's like record pace. Because Tempo were actually in a good spot. They had decent control, and then they just all die? What?
I'm like 90% positive right now that Merc got 3 kills with 1 magazine.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, TSM's playing really well. Let's not, let's not forget that. But also, a big part of it is Tempo Storm are clearly struggling.
Absolutely, and I think that it's in a couple of different departments right now. Like, obviously, TSM has done a very good job with their roam game, as well as getting these picks initially throughout the entire series, and that's something that sometimes can hindrance things like comms, for instance, where, you know, maybe someone drones more often on the team than another, and if they're picked off first, you don't have the same amount of drone plays you once would, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of factors that go into this. We'll have to see exactly what Tempo thinks after this series, but obviously there is still a chance for them to come back. Let's not count them out just yet. TSM's halfway through this defensive set as we are back downstairs inside of basement.
Once again, the Maverick tricking. Why are they all? Once again, the Maverick is tricking open the wall, and like any common work site, you would see maybe a road repair. There's one person doing the work and at least 3 people watching. Meanwhile, I mean, what else have we got going on here? There's a little bit of droning.
There's some stuff.
Yeah, there's the CEO repel from the sledge. He's droning as well. Dream and yeah, lots of droning. That's cool. But there's no attempt at control above, where we see 2 TSM roamers. There's no pressure vertically. It's just all 5 attackers outside. Oh, now all of them outside the garage. No one's even playing yellow, which is going to allow Merc to later, or not Merc rather, but Bolo to later rotate on yellow as he's playing above. I mean, this is an ideal set of circumstances for TSM, as they can simply wait and feel absolutely no pressure whatsoever. No picks either. Okay.
It is just not a good look. It is not a good look at all. Tempo Storm's drone economy right now, Michael. I mean, look at this. No one has moved from the garage at all. There's no one to even capitalize on the information that they are getting either. And they've got a decent amount of information now, utilizing these last couple drones really, really well. Jarvis forcing his way in, almost loses a fight to Bolo, but he's actually going to take more damage than he gives as Bolo trades out in his own favor. They still have Piano locked down, as well as Tempo is just trying to walk in, but not able to get the entry frags needed.
A lot of exchange back and forth here, but as you can see from the HP values, TSM, the ones on top here. And even though Bolo's taking some damage, he's still in that roam, and he's still going to affect some change from down or up above. Good entry here from Tempo, all things considered. It could have gone much worse, but it's not going to matter because Gio's still alive at back white, and he'll have Diffuser well in hand. Chala gets the final kill after the absolute chaos settles down, and TSM, yet another round. At least this time, Tempo Storm got a few kills.
I don't know how you go about that offense with that, you know, what their main game plan is, and actually get a diffuser down without getting a horrendous amount of initial kills on site. I really don't.
Yeah.
There's so much utility there for them to utilize in order to stop a plant, especially with such low time. I mean, you guys have to have some sort of pressure somewhere else inside of the map to get a diffuser down like that, especially, you know, when it comes to site players, Michael. I mean, every single person inside of that site are going to be trained on that man putting the diffuser down. That's their job. That's all they have to do. Unless you give them something else or force them to focus somewhere else, everyone's now focused on the garage, and you're walking right into the lion's den.
The thing that I don't understand here, Stokes, is what we're looking at is a Maverick opening the garage, right? Yeah, okay. That's the plan. That's what Tempo wants to do. They've done it twice now. They clearly have it like as their main, okay, we're going to execute this way. Have they not practiced it? Because if you're using the Maverick to open the garage consistently now, it has taken half of the round to do that. Why is everybody sitting outside garage? Why aren't people like, where's the clear? You can just send the rest of your team to clear the building that whole time. And I get it. Maybe you want to conserve your energy. You want to conserve your man count. And okay, yeah, those people sitting outside garage, they are droning. They're assessing the situation. I get it. But I adamantly believe that is a truly inefficient use of their time. And at this level, I'm used to seeing, and I anticipate having every single member on both teams like constantly performing some sort of job or like doing a thing that is going to further their team's goals. And I don't think that like having your entire team drone is going to be that meaningful. It's definitely useful. Information gathering is great. But man, oh man, could there be more done with that? Like you could clear out the entire top floor and middle floor while your Maverick is opening up the garage. That is feasible.
Absolutely. And the thing is on that is that the piece that we never really talk about inside of, oh yeah, utility, all this kind of stuff. The thing that you want the most of in this game is time. And Tempo is wasting so much time by doing things in that manner. Your time is the thing that is it's bread and butter. You have to be aware of it at all times. And without Tempo worrying about different parts of the map, you're just standing outside making sure that apparently this welding is OSHA approved. I mean, it's...
Yeah, that's good.
I try. But now down into round 5, Creators, gets clotheslined by some bullets as he dashes up yellow. Merc and Geo both with some big frags. Mark finally getting a frag back as they have piano control. There are some chances here to put down a diffuser, but Creators is still downed. No chance of really picking him up either. So much pressure from TSM across the map as well. There's a lot of area that they could utilize.
Not a lot of HP that can be utilized on the side of Tempo. Creators will be finished off on yellow stairs as he attempts to descend. And, well, Tempo just stinging the wind at this point. They've got Crazy over by yellow, Mark inside a bathroom, but there's players that are going to cut off these two attackers getting together and going for a plant. Crazy tries to cross, but doesn't check top yellow. Chala will finish him off, and Geo will get Mark. TSM, another round. And at this point, Stokes, you have to wonder, I mean, is this a competition anymore?
Okay. You know what sucks?
What's that?
This is the first game you and I have ever casted together.
Is it?
Yeah.
Surely we've casted together before.
I don't think we have.
No, I'm pretty sure we have. I remember casting with you before. I mean, it's the first time we've casted in a long time, I think.
No.
But I'm fairly certain we've casted together. I have memories of it.
Oh, we probably have then. It's probably just me being silly. But to move on to points that actually matter, TSM are looking really, really, really good right now. The thing is that I really don't know how much improvement they've had on these maps from previous series that I've watched, because Tempo Storm really isn't doing all too much. I mean, for instance, that last round, they simply just rushed down yellow. That was it. They sprinted up, tried to get piano control, and that was the entire game plan. TSM have complete control of the top floor. They have vertical play through the hatches. They still have utility to use. And I mean, your entry into the building is Creators getting clotheslined by bullets. And he's currently 0-0-5. I mean, look at the scoreboard right now for Tempo Storm. It's like everyone's just got their monitors unplugged.
You know, and I gotta say, first of all, let's not get it twisted, everybody. Mm-hmm. Stokes and I both, if I could speak for him a second, are truly impressed by the performance we're seeing from TSM right now.
Absolutely.
Like, they are playing absolutely on top of their game. We're seeing TSM basically refined perfectly. It's looking awesome for TSM. Great, fantastic. The reactivity to the responses that Tempo have, when Tempo decides to go for a rush, TSM does not let that go. They don't let any control go unanswered by a kill. And I love to see that, but also really most of this is just Tempo playing really poorly right now. And it's strange because, I mean, the analyst desk was right when they were assessing how Tempo were looking, better based on their last match. And what is this Tempo? This is a completely different Tempo.
We'll have to see if they can possibly pick up their first offensive round here. Round 6 is underway. We're about 40 seconds in now, as Merc's taking a little bit of damage initially, but that doesn't mean that he's dead. Still has half of that life bar left as TSM sprinting around downstairs. They've already adjusted for what Tempo Storm what to do, and that's exactly what Michael was talking about just a little bit ago, folks. They saw the initial game plan from Tempo Storm and said, okay, let's adjust all of our utility downstairs. We have so many nitro cells to try and counter out these plants, so let's do that. We'll just shift on down the staircase, have somebody try and mess around mid-floor, and see how well it goes. It went really, really well last time with that retake. Granted, they don't have the orcs, but they definitely have the artillery to handle everything Tempo's going to throw at them. Mark thought that he could get a free sledge to watch the lower rotate for the staircase, but instead gets blown sky high.
For lack of a better word, TSM are controlling the tempo in both senses, I guess. That sort of a C4 was an aggressive C4 that puts your opponent off keter, that puts them on check, that makes them think, heck, I can't do anything. without a direct response from my opponent, in this case, TSM. And that direct response from TSM is every single time meeting, or is resulting in, rather, in a kill for the defense. So Bolo will get taken down. At least there's that for Tempo. A little ray of sunshine. And it's an unanswered kill, too. Tempo able to establish themselves after getting that pick. And so they'll be a little bit more confident, a little bit more comfortable when they go for the execution on the site. But there's still 3C4. There's still a pulse. Luckily, there's an IQ. But no matter how you look at this, it's going to be a difficult execution.
Very difficult as Tempo's trying to force themselves down bottom spiral. They don't even get the initial kill. Achieve will pick up that, and he dips back to make sure no one's planning on site. Geo has it, though. It's handled. It's all now down to Crazy, who immediately gets exploded. That's a perfect defensive half, Michael, and they only lost Bolo to do it. I mean, this is checkmate overall from TSM. Every step of the way, they are the obstacle to stop Tempo Storm. I mean, even when they're doing something as simple as trying to sledge the top of spiral so that they can see down into the other staircase to make sure no one can rotate, you get nitro-celled. This chess match is being played very one-sided.
This is a little bit abstract, but the way that it's happening, or the way that this match is playing out right now, TSM has so much control and so much, such polished coordination that it's almost as if they're playing against toddlers. Now, Tempo Storm are playing bad, but they're not playing like they're not playing like they don't belong here. They are playing poorly, but you know, they aren't playing like the Tempo we're used to seeing. But TSM are playing on a completely different level currently. As an example, remember watching that Pulse get the kill on the player who was on Banana as Tempo was attempting to distract the anchors down in the site to allow for a plant in the site? That was really big. He won the fight with his UMP and was able to rotate across Banana to pull out his heartbeat detector. Despite the fact that he knew another player was on Banana, he trusted his teammate, the Kaid, to pick up that angle and to support and protect the Pulse, allowing the Pulse to call out the location of the planter and for the other C4 in sight to deny the planter getting that diffuser down. Now, the diffuser did get down, but it doesn't matter. The swiftness in which TSM is making these decisions on an individual level, which contribute to the overall success of the team, is truly, profoundly impressive. It's the sort of siege that I want to say almost peak siege. You know, you could call it perfect siege. Now, that doesn't mean that TSM's the best team in the world, but they are having, at this moment, TSM are having basically everything go their way. And it's due to two factors. It's due to TSM being incredibly on point, and it's due to the fact that Tempo Storm are not putting up a fight.
To me, it just feels like a TSM, you know, the couple of weeks right before we get to a LAN. Those initial days where you see what everyone's been cooking up and working on, this is what it feels like to me for TSM. Almost every LAN they come through with what seems to be a hive mind, and they just start eating people alive with how aggressive they can get, but they can also slow it down. It's such an amazing play style, and they're good for it. Their mechanical skill is off the charts, and they continue to pick up all of these kills. Crazy dead again for Tempo Storm.
We're not even a minute done. We're about to hit that threshold, and your projector player got picked off first thing. On a top floor roam, that is devastating. And at least it's a basement defense, or this could be much worse. If this were a middle floor defense, that probably would have cost the round. As it stands, Tempo can recover this, but of course, the momentum is very against them. I feel bad for Tempo because I know what it's like to be in this position, to play with this kind of setup, and you really just, when you're in Tempo's spot, right, you just wish you could hit the pause button and take a step back and go, what the hell is happening? And just discuss it as a team, because this is not course correctable in the middle of a match unless some sort of miracle happens, and currently that miracle is, well, evasive.
Well, TSM still working down their checklist here as hatches have been opened inside of lobby. Most of the hard destruction gone, except obviously for Geo's last Selma charge that he can possibly use. But the garage is already opened. TSM seemingly setting up for this garage execute, and they're really good for it right now. They have all of top control. This is what we were talking about before. You need this verticality to assist you, and that's exactly why. Merc gets a free kill all by peeking the circle hatch. This verticality plays so well into handling garage.
40 seconds left and seemingly no hope left for Tempo, but at least they've got decent control of their own site. As the sledge continues to open up above, though, that might change. Evil Eye's being destroyed there by the nades from above. Sledge continuing to encroach on the back of White, and the Maestro is forced off of his anchor position, making holding the site that much more difficult. But, oh, a ray of sunshine. 2 picks for Tempo. Bolo will respond, but still a chance is formed, and Tempo Storm could win this out in the dying seconds. But not so as Mark goes for a push. Bolo gets his triple kill and starts the plant. Jarvis with the C4 might be able to deny, but he doesn't even get to detonate it. TSM gets the win. Merc calls GG's before the round even ends. And Stokes, that has to be one of the most one-sided best of threes I've casted in years.
I would completely agree with you. I don't think inside of a best of 3 that I have ever had a 14-1 in my casting career. That is, oh my goodness gracious, TSM. I mean, there's beating another team, but then there is brutalizing another team. And that's exactly what we just saw TSM do. Merc topping the scoreboard as well. 10, 4, and 3. Oh my goodness gracious, Michael. TSM is firing on every single cylinder they have.
I'm angry about that. And I don't care who wins these matches. I never have. I like competitive Siege. You know, I like teams going head to head and having really intense battles and learning new things because they show us on screen. That match made me angry, and I can't even explain why. I'm just profoundly angry about that result. And I was expecting it, you know, TSM to win. I think that was most people would anticipate. But that kind of performance wasn't even a performance. It was more like a let's get it over with. It's like yeah, it's a weird match, but it's over now, I guess. And you know, at least it was quick. We'll go ahead and toss to the analyst desk, and they'll have their words about it.
My goodness. Thank you so much, Kicks and Stokes, for casting. Have a great night.
Why
it was a short night for y'all. I really don't even know, Belly. I'm kind of speechless. I mean, you just heard Kicks there. I mean, he was frustrated. Like, we want to watch good Siege, right? And then Stokes said 14-1. 7-0 on that second map, gentlemen. This is where I usually say, all right, let's check out the highlights. And I'm kind of like...
No, this is not highlights. It's a damn montage for TSM. Is that what I get for hyping up team? Like, honestly, like Tempo, I thought from when we saw them last time, they fixed those issues and that they were just significant.